Oh, here's your Backstage pass.
Quiet on the set.
Action!
Welcome to Sedona's Backstage Pass with Shondra, presented by Chef Lisa Dahl. This is your inside look into culture, curators, and creative artists. And now, your host, Shondra.
Welcome, my VIPs. You've got your Backstage Pass and you are in. So get ready for some behind-the-scenes stories, as always, every Saturday at 10 a.m. here at KAZM 106.5 FM and 780 AM, and, of course, streaming live on mellowmountainradio.com. We always have wonderful guests. I'm thrilled for today. I'm not going to tell you who it is. You have to wait, all right? In the meantime, let me get to the events calendar, which, by the way, is sponsored by Sedona Ballet. Thank you, Winnie Munch, who is the executive director and founder of Sedona Ballet. If you want more interesting, wonderful things to look at about Sedona Ballet, visit sedonaballet.org. All right. And by the way, happy pre-Valentine's Day to everybody. There's a lot of stuff going on this week, and I'm going to tell you about it right now. First of all, the 13th annual Sedona Lunar New Year Festival is happening, and it's happening today from 2 to 5 p.m. The address is 340 Jordan Road. That's Uptown Sedona, and it's free to the public. It includes cultural performances, games, and calligraphy. Remember this last year, all the way until, unfortunately, February 18th, so this celebration is a little before that, was the Year of the Snake. So if you went through a lot of change, transformation, there you go. We're on the tail end of it. We go right into Year of the Horse. So it's giddy up and go. So remember, that's today at 2 p.m., 5 p.m., the 13th annual Sedona Lunar New Year Festival. Then on Saturday, February 14th, that's today, at 2:30. So, you might want to go after this. I think you can still check it out. There is a Beatles tribute. It's called Britain's Finest, a Beatle Tribute, and it is at the Sedona Performing Arts Center. And that's up on Upper Red Rock Loop Road. If you don't know where it is, it's across from the Marriott Courtyard. You could get your tickets at visitsedona.com. It's at 2:30 today. Then, also, if that wasn't enough, there's a Valentine's Day dance party. Love Frequency is what it's called, and it's located at the Humankind Center. You could get your tickets at Eventbrite. That is from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. tonight. So you got a big day ahead of you. And then I'm going to kind of speed it up a little bit and tell you about another event, Spirits and Spice Whiskey Experience. And that's happening next Friday, February 20th already, February 20th at 4 p.m. at Tlaquepaque Arts and Shopping Village. And it's a guided tasting tour, and tickets available on Eventbrite. So check that out. Now, we're going to go over to the Sedona International Film Festival theaters. As you know, the In the Living Room music series is going strong. And this last Tuesday, we had one Tuesday. It's usually every other Monday. But this month, of course, is the Sedona International Film Festival. And there was another event going on that Monday, the 9th. So we had Jerry McFarlane, and he was brilliant. So now I'm going to tell you what's going on right now. First of all, tonight, you've got another opportunity, and tomorrow, so you can go do the other thing and then see this tomorrow. At 4 p.m. tomorrow is Barrymore's Ghost, and it's a live play. So this is really fun because at the Sedona International Film Festival, they are now also part of Sedona Professional Theater Company, and the season starts this weekend, okay, Saturday and Sunday, and it's a live solo performance. It kicks off on the stage of Mary Fisher Theater. There you go. Now, some other cool things. There's a global premiere. It's a movie. It's a special theatrical premiere event happening at both Mary Fisher and Alice Gill Sheldon Theaters over there on February 19th. That's Thursday at 7 p.m. It's called Paul McCartney, Man on the Run. And that's a premiere, a global premiere. So maybe you want to go see that. And then Friday, February 20th, we have Tony Award-winning John Rubinstein. If you remember Pippin, he was in it, and many other things on TV and theater, and he's performing his acclaimed one-man show as a kickoff to the film festival, and that's Friday, February 20th. And, of course, you could get all these tickets on SedonaFilmFestival.com. While you're there, get some tickets, some passes. You'll be able to get single passes by that time. And you want to make sure that you catch Dev Ross and my movie, High School Detention the Musical, which is happening February 28th at 4 p.m. at Sedona Performing Arts Center. There you go. That's quite a bit. So, right now, I would like to introduce my next guest. I absolutely adore this man, and he is the owner of Sefton Engineering, Luke Sefton. Thank you for being here, Luke. It's so great to have you.
Always glad to be here with you, and yes, the year's already going fast.
It is. It's going. You've got a lot going on. Yeah, I want to just know, is your job stressful?
It is.
Okay, so explain to me how it is here. Now, I know I often say, and many of you listening who are residents here might agree, for those of you who aren't, you'll be surprised. Sedona is like the biggest small town you'll ever be in. And it's and I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that there's a lot of opinions. There's a lot of people that are invested in living here, and that comes with a lot. And you're an engineer. You're dealing with progress. So tell us, what is it like?
Well, one of the stresses is, it's easy to do the cookie cutter answer for everything.
Sure.
You have details, or I want my engineers and my staff to think outside the box
Sure.
of how to come up with some solutions that aren't necessarily just put it on paper and go. And that is because it's like I care about my clients and I want them to succeed. And so it gets to be stressful when, we're getting there and we're trying to figure this out, trying to figure out the solution. And sometimes it's, like they say, I find a lot of solutions when I'm in the shower in the morning.
Oh, you too.
Yeah.
I do this. This is
and
interesting.
I'm like, oh, this is it.
Yeah, it's funny about that. I'm going to sidetrack a little bit. I'm curious as to how many listeners go through this when you're working on something and you get quiet. So I always call it like a mundane meditation. I'm in the shower, right? Or I'm folding the clothes, or I'm doing dishes, or something that just is a non-thinking deal, and all of a sudden it comes up. You've got this too in the shower. I get good ideas in the shower.
Yeah.
I write a lot of songs in the shower.
Yep.
It's funny.
And the other part of that is dealing with the public when you're presenting a project. I met with the new community development director, who is from Anderson, Indiana, where my family has been there for a couple hundred years. So, but it was interesting. But we had this discussion, and I can get up in front of P&Z and council and have a discussion and have a conversation, and they don't have to agree with me. They can vote me down. I don't get upset. I mean, that's just, you can't be upset about that. You have to accept no as well as yes.
So that's interesting, because I always tell, and I live this in this business that I'm in, similar. I never thought of it that way. But, you go out for an audition, and sometimes you don't hear back. Mm-hmm. And you may go to 50 of them, or maybe even more, before you get a yes. And you have to be okay with that. Yeah. And it's not personal. Right. And so you find the same thing. Huh?
Well, yeah, and I think a lot of people miss that, because when you go to the council meeting, you have those discussions, we're listening to each other, and we're finding out what they do want, what they don't want. And people get in there and they go, you're trying to shut us down. They're following the rules. And so people need to know what Robert's rules are.
Right.
And, it doesn't mean they are trying to shut you down. It's just the process, so it's more fair to everybody.
Right.
At the same time, one of the things is that when you have a project and people are sitting there going, well, you're going to kill all the coyotes on your property. Well, all of us live in a house someplace, and we either had children. Our house where we lived wildlife was on that. So, you have to respect other people's property rights.
Right.
It's like here, I can't, if you don't want that property to be developed, then you need to go out and raise money and buy it or get it. But here, everybody tries to bully everybody.
Oh, it's interesting.
To doing what they don't. To stop it.
That's very interesting.
And the problem with that is like with Airbnb, everybody said no, and the law changed, and we had no choice. And that's happening with housing too.
Oh,
is that this new year, for subdivisions and a lot of stuff, there's no more public meeting.
Oh,
P&Z and councils can't talk about it, or they can't. there's no public. They're not allowed to have public meetings on it.
Wow, that is different, isn't it?
So because it takes years to get a project approved, and now without that, we can look at maybe 6 months, or
I see.
It's not just getting it approved. It's like I only have so many hours in the day to sit there and write reports and drawings, and so that takes time. And the architects, there's a lot of details.
Right, there is. So I was always wondering, why were the delays? Why was it like that? So that's interesting to know. So let me ask you this: how has we talked about communication with your sister in January?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I found that fascinating because we don't talk normally. I mean, that's what's going on and not just here in Sedona, but worldwide. I don't think people talk like they used to. And debates hardly happen simply because it's my way or this is the way I see it.
And everybody loses.
Somebody else feels the same way. Right. So there's no compromise anymore, it seems like. Now, maybe I'm making a blanket statement, and forgive me for that, but how have you seen communication change in your business when you have to make those compromises? Do you find people are more stubborn? They come to the table more closed off? How's it changed?
I don't think people, I guess it's, people aren't aware of their surroundings. When they move into a house or property, they realize that property next door. I mean, of all things, my oldest sister lived here. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's kind of how I came out. She was a nurse here, and she had a house, and they had an empty lot, and I had just started working for the city.
Okay.
And they pulled a permit to build a house on it. And she was over the top upset with me.
Oh.
That was her open space, and I thought of anybody else I could explain this to, I could explain it to her and change her mind.
Interesting.
I did not succeed.
Oh, yes.
But I go, that's if you want the open space, if you want that lot to not block your view or whatever, you need to work and get that, either buy it or HOA or whatever.
So are we to assume that when we buy something and do have an open space, chances are it will be filled?
If it's private property.
Yeah.
Something eventually is going to be there.
Right. So that's a good one. Okay. Did she ever get over it, or is she still upset with you?
She got over it.
That's good. That's good, because it's like, come on over for Thanksgiving, Luke. Like, maybe not.
Maybe not.
Okay.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Get along just fine.
I'm just being funny.
Yeah.
So now, tell me what it's like in a day for you and your business, because you've got a lot of employees.
Mm-hmm.
They're wonderful individuals, I have to say, and it's a lot of balancing, is it?
It is.
Okay.
It is. I try to have my days scheduled. A week or so in advance, I start getting things put on my schedule, and if it's on my schedule, I can deal with it and stuff. It's the things that come up. But I always I go in, I plan out my next day, and I go in the first thing, and within the first phone call or email, my whole day has changed.
Seriously?
So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's
Wow.
other things I have to review, or there's clients that want to talk with me.
Yeah, like being here.
Being here.
I was trying to reach you, and then I reached the person who handles a lot of stuff, and that's Cherie. Big shout out to her. She's great at what she does. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know Luke is really, really busy, and can he come in today? And she's like, well, hang on, let me see if I can, leave him a message. And then, so things changed.
Yeah, Naima and Cherie are a great help. They balance that out, and so that I'm not having to stop from that. And they say, okay, Luke will be there in 5 minutes or whatever, and that's a big help.
Gosh, I wish.
Big help.
I know having a personal assistant or somebody who helps you with your schedule is a big deal. So now, when you're dealing with, let's see, I'm sure that you have had some conflict with something that you were building or whatever. People don't realize that there's not a lot of affordable housing here. Mm-hmm. And we're trying to find a way to help the land. I mean, I'm a tree hugger. I have to admit that. I am. I'm not crazy about land going away and all of that. And I also know that the home that I'm living in at one point was open space. So we've got to figure out something, some sort of a compromise. Whenever you've had a conflict, have you been able to resolve that? I'm just curious. Like where it really did work out for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, like
Pretty much.
Mariposa, they were looking at that. The city was convinced that should be office space, and
Space.
office space for that. And I sat there and I sat down with Audrey, who was the community development director at the time, and I sat down with the HOAs in the area, and I said, let's find a win-win. And they realized that something could go there, and the way it was zoned, it wouldn't be very productive.
Oh no!
It could have just still be big office space. And the one gentleman that was looking at it at the time was had a lot owned Costco, or had a big investor in Costco, and he wanted to bring his clients here. And so he wanted something close to the airport, and I called it, do you want Mariposa or do you want a big I Love Me office? And I looked down at the current owner and I said, sorry, because he has a big office. But anyways.
Yeah, but still.
But anyways, but that's a win-win.
Yes, it is.
It's you don't need to get everything. You got to give some, and you got to, come in the middle. It's like with the Western Gateway. There's people that are on both sides of that, and they're like over here, they're all on both. I said, guys, find something, because your both ideas are great, but you can have a better idea coming together. True. And have something that not only benefits the community and our festivals.
Yeah, I think you are absolutely correct. We have to work together. I think this has been a lost art for a very long time, and hopefully that will come back. Now, I do want to ask you, I know that the upside of this is you talk about giving. You are a huge community giver. You do give back a lot. I know during the holidays, this past holidays, again, I'm seeing you at the Verde Valley Sanctuary. Not the sanctuary.
I was there.
The Verde Valley caregivers.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, what am I saying?
Well, the sanctuary, too.
Yes,
I'm helping
the sanctuary,
them out.
too. Well, there you go. The Verde Valley caregivers, it's such an important thing, helping our seniors to stay in their homes or wherever they are to get help. And you were there and other places. And I just, I brought this clipping in from 2023 that I've been hanging on to give to you from the newspaper. And tell everybody about that. It's really cool.
So while I was on the Verde Valley Regional Economic Board, we started a 501c3 called the Verde Valley Community Development Organization.
And you helped found that?
I helped found that along with a few others. Mayor Clarkdale, and there's, Molly Spangler, who was here with the Economic Board. Anyway, so we started as a 501c3 because a C3 can do certain things a C6 can't. And one of those things is housing, and we were looking at broadband, but now so the development organization can do multiple things. So one of the things we're working on now is housing, and we've created a community land trust.
Okay.
And Mary Shaquin, who is our executive director, has a schedule. She's I think she's on. I got to look at my schedule. She's P&Z tonight with somebody, our council, with one of them. I think it's Cottonwood, where she's presenting what a community land trust is and where we're going with this. So what happens is the simplest of that is that we buy a house, we put the land in a trust, and we lease the land to the person for like $100 a month. Okay. But they buy the house. Oh. So if it's a $400,000 house and the land's worth $100,000, they only have to come up with $300,000.
I see. Okay.
Okay. So we kind of reduce that, and the land trust and they have it down in Phoenix. Tempe has a land trust. They're all across the United States, but they allowed us to reduce the price of the house. Now, we are in the process of raising the money to do that. We have to, because we're a nonprofit, we have to buy the land.
Right. So what happens, let's just say, when that price does not go up, right? That lease doesn't go up?
There's a certain percentage, but we don't want it to be a burden. That's why instead of it being, the $100,000 could be $600 a month, so that $500 you're not paying for.
Exactly.
And there's a little bit, but it's not to make it a burden. We're trying to reduce the burden, but the people own the house, and then when they sell or or they die, and the trust has the first right of refusal that can buy it back from the family.
Oh,
but it does have to go to us qualifying people.
Okay.
I mean, you have to qualify for it, and we're looking at the missing middle because we have low end tax credits and things like that for people with low income, and the high people that can pay cash or paying cash, and they're squeezing the middle out.
I see.
They're squeezing you and I out of the home ownership.
I got it.
And that's why we're focusing with the Community Land Trust on that missing middle, because that's our workforce.
Yeah,
here in
absolutely.
the Verde Valley.
Yeah, that's so true. And so does it value the whole process of selling it, or doesn't devalue it?
No.
Right.
No.
So,
there's a lot of people that live on trust land. I mean, a lot of North Scottsdale is on state trust land.
Wow.
And they pay a lease.
Wow.
And it's just part of their, it's like paying an HOA fee.
I got it.
But you're paying just for the lease of the land, but you own the building, you own the improvements, all that on top of that.
Right. Interesting. Wow.
And
that's so fascinating. I never even know about that.
And what's kind of exciting right now is we've had developer that said, I have this land. I don't want to do anything with it. I want to give it to the land trust.
Wow. That's
So
awesome.
as of, we had to do it by the end of the year. So now that land is in the land trust. And I've been working with some other people. In fact, the new community development director, Tony, has offered his to plan it out, and so we can build homes there. And then each person will own their home, and the land will be in the trust. And so far, like Frame Tech, and we got other realtors and other people in the community that want to leave a legacy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like John Bradshaw is doing with his property over there behind the dealership, where it's called Bradshaw Living Legacy, so that we can have lower income house that's affordable, or rents that are affordable.
How wonderful.
And
I mean,
so
really, how terrific.
John's doing a great job. And then with this, we're going to put these houses on there, and then
that's great.
So
and so
cool.
now, getting back to this clipping, this was a check that you were giving, right?
Well,
or were you receiving it?
We were receiving. Pinnacle Bank has been Mark Tuffy is now the chair of the community development organization. So he came in after me. So he's the boss now, and I'm just the treasurer.
The treasurer. I don't think so.
Well, past chair.
There you go.
But Pinnacle Bank's been a big supporter of us. They helped us with some of the paperwork for the charitable giving of property.
Okay.
Pinnacle Bank had paid most of those fees for us, so we didn't have to pay for those.
Cool. Very cool.
And then here he's given $1,000, and they've done it pretty good doing it every year. So
that's
hopefully
cool.
We'll keep going.
Everything counts. I know that's just so important. You're very involved in the community. So besides this, and we've talked a little bit about this, I know you're part of the Jack Jameson Memorial Sculpture Park, because I'm on that team. And I don't know, are we going to put any more sculptures in there? What do you think?
There's a couple more room. We have to, if you have ideas, we're looking for good ideas.
That's right. We should put it out there. If there's somebody out there who is a sculptor and wants to donate and be a part of inside this little beautiful pocket park, where there's sculptures from the late great John Soderbergh and Susan Cleaver, and who else?
James Muir.
Joe
Beeler.
Oh yes.
Cleaver.
Christine. Despain, and who else? I'm trying to remember.
Skip.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Yeah. Who was the gal that did the sculpture of the dog, the police dog?
Oh, I don't remember.
Terrible. Her name is Jill, I think.
Yeah.
I love her. I think she comes in from somewhere else, not from Sedona. And just a beautiful park. If you have an opportunity during lunch and you just want to get a small lunch or something and go somewhere quickly, go to the Pocket Park. There is no longer a Bank of America over there. I believe it is a health food store if I remember right, and I can't remember their name. Sorry, you guys. But it's over there. You'll see the big flags. You can't miss it because there's all these flags, military flags and the American flag. And that is a military park that honors those in Sedona who had served in the armed forces. And there's a pocket park there, and it's beautiful. Some benches, you can enjoy your lunch there. It's lovely. So here we are at the end. Can you believe this? It goes by so fast.
Goes by, yes.
It just goes by quick. Thank you for all that you do in the community. And thank you for being a sponsor for this show. I have to say thank you so much, really.
I enjoy volunteering. I much rather do that full time because, like you said, the conflict. It's kind of like my steam that I release. Get away from that and do something that's fun and giving back. I wish I could do that full time.
I know. I think you will one day.
Yeah, probably.
I have a feeling that that's going to happen. I'd like to be right with you when you do that. I'd like to do the same thing. All right. Well, thank you, Luke Sefton of Sefton Engineering. Thank you so much for being here. And I know we'll have you back in March. And stay with me, everybody, for my next guest.
You can taste it in every bite. For over 30 years, Chef Lisa Dahl has redefined what it means to dine in Sedona, serving soulful, handcrafted cuisine inspired by love, artistry, and community. From the wood-fired kitchens of Mariposa to the couture flair of Butterfly Burger, every experience is elevated, every ingredient intentional. To learn more about Lisa Dahl and the Dahl restaurants, please visit cheflisadahl.com.
Need a clean car fast? Come to Cleaner, Quicker Car Wash. We'll have you sparkling and back on the road in minutes. Whether you're after a quick shine or a deep clean, you'll get top quality service, eco-friendly soaps, and smiles all around. Drive up, shine up, and feel good, all without slowing down your day, and look like a star in your car. Located in West Sedona on Highway 89A. For more information, visit cleanerquickercarwash.com.
Here's more of Sedona's Backstage Pass with Shondra, presented by the Dahl Group.
Oh, I am so excited. You're going to love this woman. She's incredible. She's an artist. She's more than an artist. She is, I don't even know how to explain what she is because she's many things to me. She's like a sister to me. I just call her my sister. And we know each other very well. We are neighbors. I will mention that. Please. If you had like a way to applaud, I would say, please give a big round of applause to my friend, my sister. You know her as Wendy Smith. She also goes by Sage O'Brien. Thank you for being here. Oh, my gosh.
Thank you for inviting me, and I'm so happy I said yes, finally.
I know, finally. I've been wanting to I call you Sage.
Yeah.
A lot of people know you as Wendy Smith.
That's true.
Yes, because it's soul portraits. Yeah. That's what you do. Sedona Soul Portraits.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you guys that this woman is an amazing artist, and you can have a personal soul portrait done by her. And I want you to talk about this. And I just have to say, I call you Sage, so I'm going to call you Sage. But remember, she also goes by Wendy Smith. You could find her on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, also at SedonaSoulPortraits.com. There is an S on portraits. So look her up, especially after you hear about her. Okay, so tell us, what do you do? I know what you do, but they don't know what you do.
No. Okay, so I'm a trained artist, and early on, I wanted to do portraits.
Okay.
People, animals always fascinated me. But it wasn't until I had really a very trying time in my life that I decided I wanted to look deeper than the surface of just soul portraits, or just portraits, rather, excuse me.
Right.
And so I started searching around to see what was available. We're talking the early 80s. And
were you in Sedona at that time?
I was actually in London.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
London.
I was in London.
Know this about? Okay, this makes so much sense to me. I look at you and I love London. It's Piccadilly Square is just very similar to New York, right?
Yes, very similar.
Buzzing, arty, artsy fartsy thing.
Very artsy fartsy.
I love it. It's
Absolutely.
So good.
And my time in England was very special. It was about a year. And I found a place to rent inside a big mansion, actually, in Mayfair. The best address in London. And the woman who owned it wanted a portrait.
Okay.
And she wanted herself and her 2 daughters.
Oh.
So I did that. Enormous portrait.
How large was this?
I was probably 50 inches by 50 inches.
Holy smokes. It was a large.
It was huge.
Was this the first soul portrait?
It was not, but it was leading up to.
Okay.
Leading up to the understanding that I wanted to go deeper.
Okay. All right.
But it wasn't until that was 1984.
Okay, 84. I don't know this story. This is awesome.
I know. But I moved to Sedona in 86.
Oh.
So the period between 84 and 86 is when I actually had more of a spiritual connection to my soul.
Okay, can I ask you what happened?
Yeah.
You don't have to get into huge personal details, but we want to know. This is Sedona's Backstage Pass.
Yeah, right, exactly. So what actually happened was I read a book by Shirley MacLaine.
Oh.
Okay. And she changed my life.
Wow.
Yeah, Dancing in the Light. In Dancing in the Light, she meets Chris Grissom, who lived in Santa Fe, who's still in Santa Fe. And Chris's whole, she's a healer. Her whole, what do I want to say? She wanted to get people in touch with their God spark.
Okay.
And she actually started a school, and that's exactly, she trained young children to see who they really were. And Shirley MacLaine went to her to get in touch with this.
I see.
Chris Grissom is also an acupuncturist. She knew the esoteric points that were always taught only to men and mainly royalty.
Interesting.
Yeah, to get you in touch with the deeper part of who you really are.
So you read this book and you're like, I'm going to start doing something different. So how did you come about the soul portraits? And I want to know how you do it. I know how you do it, but they don't. So we've got to tell them.
Right. Well, when Shirley is regressed and she sees her higher self, that's when the light started flashing in my mind.
Okay.
And I said, oh, if she's got one, I have to have one.
Yeah, boy, do you ever. I mean, seriously. Big energy. Big
energy. But it took me quite a while to get in touch with this so I could actually see it. And the process was I sat down to do a portrait of myself.
Oh.
In 1989.
Oh.
And it's enormous. Huge thing. And when I finished it, I realized that was my higher self.
That's so good. Did your higher self have different color hair?
My higher self did not have purple or pink hair.
Okay, because I was a little stunned when I saw you today, but then I'm never stunned. We're talking about a real artist here, you guys. You're showing up here with some intense violet hair.
Flames.
I know, it's like amazing. I mean, you always are shifting things around. I love that about you. Yeah. Change does not bother you.
No. In fact, you got to move the feng shui.
You do.
And I do all the time.
Oh, boy, do you ever. So we live very close to each other. All right. I must say a big shout out to my dog. And actually, she loves you like you're her mom, too. But you're her Aunt Sage. And Dottie Dots adores you, and she loves coming over. And it's like, oh, my gosh, your place is incredible. It's a art studio kind of thing going on with just a whole bunch of really eclectic. Oh, my gosh, It's incredible. I love it. All this different art that you've done. And so now, tell people how you do this. What's the process?
Okay, so the process is actually really simple. I sit with the client. If the client is in town, some people never come to town, and we have a phone conversation, and then they send me their picture.
The picture, yeah.
If you're in town, like you and I.
Yes.
We sit together. We might chat for a minute. Then we go into a short meditation.
Okay.
In that, a very short period of time, maybe 4 minutes, I start to see some images.
Interesting.
Once I feel, okay, I have got this, I literally imagine filing it in my brain under your name.
Cool. Love this. And then you take a picture of them? Is that
I
what you...
take a picture of them right on the spot, and that's it.
That's it. Then they leave.
They leave, and it takes me now, because I have a big schedule, about 4 months to deliver.
Okay. All right.
Even 5 months.
So now, depending upon the size of the portrait that you're going to be painting, depends on the price, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Right. And people can contact you at Sedona Soul Portraits.
Yes.
That's plural, portraits.com. Now, let's talk about, this is fascinating to me. First of all, I just have to mention, I'm so excited I can't even I can't keep my train of thought here. Where do I go next, you know? Your work is so powerful. It's colorful, and I'm going to build a reel, and it's going to show some paintings, and I'll send people to your website and all of that. I want you guys to visit SedonaSoulPortraits.com. She does amazing work. Incredible. I have something in my home.
Thank you.
Love it. I love it. And sometimes there's glitter, and there's different kinds of things that show up, like animals and stuff in the portrait. It's crazy cool. So now, you were going to a school, an art school, right? You did go to an art school.
I did. Yeah. I'm one of the generation that went to many schools.
Okay, good.
Never really graduated. But my whole life, I just like different things, different areas of the world, different, input from different artists, different people. And no one teaches you how to do a soul portrait.
That's for sure.
No, nobody taught me. It was sheer passion, sheer desire. I said, I want to see this part of myself. So, I learned basics in school,
Where did you go? What are the art schools?
Well, there are quite a few. Art Students League in New York.
Okay.
I went to a school in Boston, Pine Manor, junior college.
Okay.
Fantastic art teachers there. Then I moved to Paris, studied with two expatriates, abstract expressionists, fabulous.
Wow.
And let's see. Then I was in London, studied in London.
You've done a lot.
Yes, I have.
Right. And then your own discovery, which, of course, cannot be taught. It's the same thing with music. You can get all of that background and with acting.
Right.
But ultimately, we have to go and do the deep dive, right?
Yes.
As artists.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. But I think the key, what makes us excel is the passion.
Yes.
And that is, to this day, it's over 30 years that I've done this work.
The soul portrait specifically.
Exactly.
Because prior to that, you were doing other kinds of paintings, and you do that as well, don't you?
I do. I absolutely do. And actually, I feel like there's a bigger picture for me. I don't want to be pinpointed just doing one thing. It's like a musician, right?
Oh yes. If somebody said you're only, and I had that problem.
Yeah.
People in the industry, the recording industry, would always say, "Shondra, what genre?" And I go, "Everything," because I sing everything and I write in every genre. Yeah. And that in itself, with the recording industry, that didn't fly very well. They were like, "You got to pick one." I'm like, "You got to be kidding me, right?" That was a problem for me, actually. Yeah.
That's a really, really good point. And I feel, many artists fall into the situation in galleries where they want you to do the same thing over and over because it makes money.
That's right. I know. People kind of expect that from you, right?
They do.
But you've got to be more like Sting.
Right.
That's the Police at the height of their career. And they were like, "Are you crazy, man?" And he's like, "No, I want to leave and I want to do jazz."
I
so we went
love
from
that.
punk rock to jazz all of a sudden. I was crazy, but he did great.
Yeah.
And I love that. I really do resonate with that. Yeah. So now, let's see. I wanted to talk to you. Did you have artists in your family?
That's a good question. Yes. As a matter of fact, my mother, I first started painting around the kitchen table. We'd set up a still life when I was, like in high school, and we would just have a blast painting together and, chatting and mother-daughter kind of stuff. And that really got me going. But her grandmother, my mother's mother,
yes,
painted china.
Oh, my gosh.
I know. And that was kind of a thing for ladies back in the, turn of the century. Beautiful bone china with flowers and, different scenes in nature. Exquisite. And I have some of them to this day.
Whoa.
And she's really good.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah.
So your mom was an artist then?
Yes. My mother loved painting, but she loved gardening. And she had a garden design business. And so she would, she could have been a really great artist, but she was doing gardening because that was her passion.
Which is actually artistry in itself as well.
It is.
And you have
Absolutely.
to have kind of a green thumb for that, which you do have.
Yeah.
I have watered your garden. I have. And she's watered mine.
Yes, I have.
So I must say. So I kind of think it goes hand in hand, really.
I think you're right.
And gardening is one of those mundane meditations, isn't it? You get into the groove, and now you feel refreshed, and now you could create. It helps me, and I know it helps you.
Yeah, it really does.
It's a beautiful thing. So what is the wildest painting you've ever done? Think about it. The wildest. Crazy. It could be a soul painting, or maybe it is something totally different. See, you never know what I'm going to ask on this show. But I know you know this answer. You've got to have this answer.
Right. I do. I have, and this is recently.
Okay.
I did a painting that was, it was abstract, but it was all magentas and violet and orange and coral and with glitter and a heart. It looked like a window. In fact, you have the print. I gave you a print.
Oh, that one. I love that. Oh, yes.
Right.
Love that one.
And where did I take the work? Somewhere in Sedona. And it was a little too much for them.
It was? Gee, I love it.
I know it. Well, funny thing, that's one of the first things that sold not too long ago.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I mean, I loved it because it was expressing, just like right now, color, emotion, vibration. And life is vibration. Life is energy,
It is.
And what you put out, you attract.
So true. And I have to say, I call you the artist of all artists. I say that. Do you know why? Because when I look at you, I go, I'm transported somewhere. I come over to your house with Dottie and I go I am somewhere uniquely different. I have no idea where I am, but I like it. It's really great. And, with the artwork and the colors. So those of you who love vibrant colors and also symbolism, I love the things that pop up in your portraits.
Yeah.
So that was the wildest?
Mm-hmm. That was, I'll tell you something that I think it's not really wild, but it was a tremendous challenge.
Okay.
When one of my clients asked me to paint her to-be mother-in-law.
Okay.
Who had just passed away.
Oh.
And they wanted her portrait in the church when they got married.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm telling you.
No pressure. Huh?
No pressure. Absolutely no pressure. And, I said, I got the directive, do it.
That's what this one was.
Yeah. So
that's so interesting.
The portrait that I did, which I don't have a picture of, her mother literally came to me and hung out right here.
Whoa.
Directing that entire portrait.
Now, that's not the heart that I have.
No, it's not.
This is a different one.
Yeah, this is a different one.
So you've also done some pretty challenging soul portraits. Tell us about one of the most challenging ones, I think with children who've passed. or someone who's passed. It's like, whoa, that's tough.
Yeah, that is very, very tough. I did do a young woman whose child did not live long.
Oh.
And the aunt wanted to gift, and she did, this young woman because she was extremely depressed. And I was nervous.
I can imagine when you give a portrait like this to someone, you're only hoping.
You're only praying that this will.
And what happened?
It turned out beautifully.
Great.
And the young mother was so grateful. She adored it. And
that's so good.
For me, it was a total heart expansion. And I don't have children, but I really felt what she went through, and also I felt the child.
Oh, yes.
Who was on the other side, but wanted his mother to feel comfort.
Oh, gosh, so, Sage, that was intense.
It was, and it was well received, which
isn't that beautiful?
You can only hope for.
I mean, really, I think that doing these portraits, that's kind of scary, actually. Well, it's like songwriting. If I'm commissioned to write a song, I'm like, fingers crossed that they love it.
Absolutely.
And they're not going to go, well, this isn't what I thought it would be. It's like you want them to love it. Yeah. And you do all the things that put it in the percolator, so to speak, the hopper, as I call it.
Yeah.
And then you just trust. And, of course, you're willing to change things. But in your case, you're getting downloads.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. Yeah. That's so good. So I want to mention this. If anybody wants a soul portrait, they can contact you at sedonasoulportraits.com, correct?
Yes.
And you're still doing them. I know that you're beginning to shift into more paintings, different kinds of paintings.
Yeah.
Can people commission you for those as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I take a lot of commissions, and I love them. I love the challenge.
Right.
Really.
And your work is all around the world, isn't it?
It is all around the world. Yeah.
What's the furthest place that somebody lives that has, like where?
I think Russia.
Russia?
Well, Japan, Russia. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
How incredible.
I should have a map with little
pins.
Yeah.
But the pins have to have like feathers or something on them. A little different, So here's my other question. If I can remember what it was, because I'm like so popping everywhere. Because I'm with you, and I just become very. For those of you listening, you're probably going, "What is going on with Shondra?" A little bit more composed as usual, but your energy is so exciting to me and so artistic and creative. I need to ask you this: have you ever done any kind of murals or anything like that? Have you ever done anything like that on a wall? That's hard. That's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I have. I have done a kitchen in fact, in London to pay my rent.
Oh,
yeah, I did flowers all around the kitchen window, which was just gorgeous.
Oh my gosh! So people can still have you do that.
Yeah,
anything, right?
Anything.
So if they want to get a hold of you, sedonasoulportraits.com.
Yes.
And I know that you are taking commissions, not only for the soul portraits, which are just flippin' amazing. They don't have to be large, do they? They can be smaller pieces.
Yeah, they can,
that's what I wanted to ask you. Yes.
Yeah.
So everybody, make sure that you visit sedonasoulportraits.com. You'll see her on social media as Wendy Smith. So remember that. I know her as Sage O'Brien because both names fit, right? Just perfect. And thank you so much. Thank you, Sage, for being here. You're so incredible.
Thank you so much, Shondra. I just love you, and this is really fun.
It's so great. All right, everybody, stay with me. I'll be right back.
You've explored the trails, stood in awe of the red rocks. Now, discover how Sedona became Sedona. The Sedona Heritage Museum tells the story of Red Rock country, from ancient cultures to today's vibrant community. It's interactive, family-friendly, and open year-round, indoors and out. Sedona Heritage Museum, preserving and sharing the soul of Red Rock country. Plan your visit at sedonamuseum.org or call 928-282-7038.
Take a deep breath, then let it go.
At Sedona's New Day Spa, your escape begins the moment you arrive. Enjoy luxurious massages, rejuvenating facials, and native-inspired body treatments. Every moment is designed to restore balance and renew your spirit. Voted Sedona's Best Day Spa, this is more than self-care. It's your sanctuary. Book your experience today at SedonaNewDaySpa.com or call 928-282-7502.
When your project demands precision, experience, and trust, turn to Sefton Engineering Consultants. From expert civil engineering to construction management, we deliver real-world solutions that stand the test of time. With over 30 years in the business, Luke Sefton's team is committed to getting your project done right, on time, and on budget. Sefton Engineering Consultants. Reliable, experienced, personal. Learn more at SeftonEngineeringConsultants.com.
Here's more of Backstage Pass with Shondra, brought to you by Chef Lisa Dahl.
Oh my gosh, I love my guests. I know I say this every week, but it's so true. Oh, you know what that means if you've been listening. It's time for my shameless Shondra spot. Can we talk about a total pinch me moment? I mean, I'm like still floating on cloud nine after this enormous surprise a few weeks ago. I was at the Sedona Performing Arts Center for the Sedona Chamber of Commerce's annual address, expecting, the usual update on the community, hearing some speakers, which happened, and it was wonderful. And then, all of a sudden, I had forgotten. They actually give 3 awards out. This is a fairly new thing because the executive director, David Key, and a big shout out to him because he's doing a wonderful job. It's been here for a year, and he's the one who started this award thing. And I remember last year it was Gerardo's Pizzeria, it was Al Camello, dear friends, both of them, and Linda Goldenstein. And I love Linda. They're all 3 very good friends of mine, and they all won. And they had no idea. Well, I had forgotten about that. And I was sitting next to Linda Goldenstein, and there were 400 right there in the audience at the Sedona Performing Arts Center. A lot of my clients, friends, peers, colleagues, and all of a sudden, David Key, second award up, he starts to mention, and she's an MC, and she's a singer-songwriter, and Linda is like, Shondra, that's you. And it totally freaked me out. It was a complete surprise. And I want to thank David Key, the executive director of the Sedona Chamber of Commerce, and also the events coordinator, Kara Barnes. You two really got me. And I want to say thank you to both of you. They orchestrated this sneaky, beautiful surprise. And there I was up on stage. And I have to say, I'm on stages all the time, but I was a nervous wreck. I didn't know what to say. And here I am getting the award is the voice of the chamber. I love being the voice of the chamber. It's something I totally forgot to say when I was up at the mic. I was so flabbergasted. And my husband, Tom, and I joined the chamber as Entertainment by Tom and Shondra when we first moved here in 2002. And we loved the chamber then. We still love the Sedona Chamber of Commerce. If you're not a member, look them up. Speak with Donna Redigan because she deals with all the members who we call partners. We have mixers every month. And look them up, okay? Sedona Chamber of Commerce. Just look them up, Google them, you'll see it. Join. They're incredible. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that was in that room. Thank you to the full staff of the Sedona Chamber of Commerce, to David Key, Kara Burns, who... Oh my gosh, Kara, really? It was her idea, I understand. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's everybody's idea, but I think it was. I have a sneaking suspicion. I just want to thank everybody that was there at the Sedona Performing Arts Center for your cheers, your support, and shouting out to me, talk about the movie, because I didn't know what to say. And so thank you guys. I just feel thrilled. And thank you for that wonderful award, the voice of the chamber. Well, this has been quite the show, I have to say. And I just want to thank my sponsors. Without them, I couldn't do this show. And this is, if I have it right, the 42nd show of my podcast. This is incredible. I love it. I love it. Sedona Heritage Museum, Sefton Engineering, Cleaner, Quicker Car Wash, Sedona New Day Spa, Sedona Ballet, and my presenting sponsor, Chef Lisa Dahl and the Dahl Restaurant Group. And of course, my wonderful engineer and producer. Thank you so much, Ryan Thompson. He does such a great job making this show sound wonderful. And the owner of KAZM 106.5 FM and 780 AM. I always stumble on this. And mellowmountainradio.com, which you can always hear live every Saturday at 10 a.m. Thank you to that owner, that wonderful man, Chuck Helstein. Thank you guys so much for this. And I'm going to sign off right now, but I'm going to hope that you're going to come back here next Saturday at 10 a.m. Remember, you can hear it live streaming on mellowmountainradio.com. Wonderful guests, get to know them and find out a little bit more about them right here at Sedona's Backstage Pass. I'll see you then.